There we go. Hi. Hi. Hello. Marisa, how are you? It's, and let's see. Hi, Dope Pac-Man. Hi. Nice to see you. It's Karen Leabo with VintageDazzle.etsy.com. Hi, Gold123456789. That's a great handle. I love it. Hi, it's good to see you. I am here to show you what I've sold over the past 24 hours. It has been a good day. Yay, I always do a good day. And I sold some kind of interesting, weird stuff. So let me show you what I got. Here is my first sale. It is a mid-century lucite napkin holder with great big old huge abalone chips all in it. It is made by Design Gifts International. When I bought it, this guy I bought it from at the flea market gave me a really hard time. I didn't want to pay as much as he wanted to charge, but in the end he kind of broke me down and I ended up paying $5 for this. I thought it was a little more special than it was. I sold it for $15. There's a lot of them out there. What are you going to do? And the second thing I sold is this beautiful little lace tablecloth. It's a small one, but look how beautiful that is. I just thought it was so pretty, and it's in perfect condition. It's probably never been used. And that was, I paid $5 for that at the flea market. Thank you for the hearts. And that sold for, oh dear, I've forgotten already. 35? I think it sold for 35. Paid 5, sold for 35. Yeah, that sounds right. And then the third thing is the really weird thing. I sold this tile. Now, I paid $10 for this tile, and only because I had kind of a good feeling about it, because it had this mark on the bottom, and I knew I had seen it before. This is the mark of the Mosaic Tile Company, and anytime you see these like intertwined initials, it's called a cipher, and I think it's C-I-P-H-E-R, but it's something they started doing in Victorian times, and they don't do it so much anymore. So it usually means that something is pretty old, and I remember having a hard time figuring out what it was, but I finally did, and was able to put the Mosaic Tile Company into the description. I don't know if that's a date, 1971. I mean, December 26, 71. I don't know, because it's older than that. But anyway, paid $10 for it, and it sold for $65. I have been sitting on it a while, but sometimes these, little specialty items, you do sit on it. It's even got a little chip on it. So that is it. That is my sales for the last 24 hours. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good day, Marisa. I was really happy. It's been so slow, so slow, but I have been, last few days, I've been listing really consistently, and that usually helps. So, anyway, that's it. Thanks, you guys, for joining me. I don't really have much else to report. Oops. Good morning. Hope that's going to stay. Good morning. Oh, hi, Angie. Hi, how are you? It's Karen Leabo with VintageDazzle.etsy.com, here to show you. Hi, good morning. I've got my glasses on, and that means I cannot read. So, hi, Angie. Hi, Marisa. Hi, Debbie's watching. This is so bad. Yeah. Hi. Oh my God. Jody, hey. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I just didn't want to put my contacts in this morning. I gotta go get a massage, and I don't like to wear my contacts for that. Okay, so it was a pretty good day, though I did have a couple of disappointments, because I sold a $99 item, and I was real excited for about 5 minutes, and then I got a message from the guy saying, oh, I made a mistake, I pushed the wrong button, I didn't want to buy it, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, I sent him his money back. And then, like 2 hours later, I had somebody retract a bid on eBay. So, what are you going to do? But I really did have a good day. So, let me, without further ado, show you what I got. The first item is this mid-century modern. I think it's probably meant to be an ashtray, but you could use it for whatever you wanted. It's a souvenir from the Hotel Viking in Oslo. And it's got a great little image of fishes and other things that you cook with. And it's from Stavanger Flint Pottery, which is a collectible pottery. There's the mark. And from some cooking store that's like a posh cooking store in Oslo is also that other mark. Anyway, I bought that for $4 at the flea market and sold it for $18. And then the second thing I will show you is this big wooden recipe box. This is like a double wide. It is from the Weiss company. And the coolest thing is it's all full of recipes. Just full of recipes. Oh, do you, Angie? Yeah, it's, I have one too that's like came from my grandmother. But it didn't have her recipes in it, unfortunately. I don't know. Could she cook? I don't even remember. She didn't cook much. She had Thanksgiving at her house. I remember that. Anyway, so that, I paid $10 for that. And I sold it for $35. So, I don't know. That was a lot to pay. And then the next person, actually, she is one of my YouTube viewers. Thank you. You know who you are. And she bought 3 things from me, and they are all fish related, which is fun. You know, I don't know. My, Angie, my price, that may have been a little low. Prices were kind of all over the place, and I wasn't sure with the recipe archive. I wasn't sure if that was adding to the value or what. But anyway, so this is the first thing. It's this little articulated fish ornament. He's really pretty, enameled on brass or some kind of metal anyway. I just thought he was adorable. I paid $2 for him. You may remember him from a haul video if you watch my haul videos. He had some issues. He had some missing fins, so I just took the remaining fins off. So he is now finless except for this one up here, but that's okay. You can't really tell. He's cute. I bought him for $2 and I sold him for 18, I want to say. 16. 16. Let me look real quick. Of course I can see. Okay, yeah, I sold him for 16. And then I sold a couple of necklaces. I sold this articulated gold fish necklace with the 2 fishes on it. And that sold for 18. And then the last thing I sold was this abalone, another articulated fish. It looks like silver, but it's actually, I believe it's alpaca, so it's not silver, but it's nice looking. It's probably from Mexico. I think that it's not marked. But it's a nice one. It's a little bottle opener. Very handy. You just, you know, you can wear it at the beach or whatever and have your bottle opener right there with you. So that sold for $22. And I think I got that for free from my mother-in-law. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so that is it. Those are all my sales. I'm hoping this is a sign that things are picking up, even though people are canceling their orders. That really is annoying. But I guess I understand how people make mistakes. The guy on eBay said he was new to eBay and he didn't really understand how it worked, and he thought he could go back and change his bid later after he measured his motorcycle and decided my motorcycle bag didn't fit it or whatever. Anyway. Hi, good morning. It is nice to see everybody, and I will get started with my sales. There's only 3, but it was not a bad day because I had one good sale, one really good sale. So the first thing is this little egg cup. This has been in my shop forever and ever and ever. I paid $3 for it, but I think I maybe bought it, because I used to collect these, I may have bought it for myself first, and then I kind of thinned down my egg cup collection. I just don't have room to display collections, and I sold that for a whopping $9. The second thing is this carved African little animal. Hi, B-Tech Blunt Rolling. Did I get that right? Hi, thanks for joining me. So it's like a little African animal, little tribal, probably a souvenir thing from Africa. And that was in a lot of jewelry that I bought from a friend, so I paid probably less than $1 for it, and it sold for $14. And then the last thing is this ring. This is a Black Hills gold ring. The light's not the greatest here, but anyway, yeah, it's really not very good. Let's see. There, now you can see it better. It's really pretty. It's an amethyst, and it's sterling silver, and then it has the little grape leaves that are soldered on. They're not like electroplated or gilded. They're actual little pieces of gold that are soldered onto the ring, and they're in rose gold and yellow gold. And I learned recently that Black Hills gold does not refer to a particular type of gold, but it's the style of the jewelry. And it always has the traditional grape leaves and or grapevines and grapes. And there's a legend that goes with it that I won't bore you with. I don't even know it that well, but because it may or may not be true. But it always has 3 colors of metal. Usually it's yellow, rose, and green gold. And they make the rose gold from adding copper. Oh, here comes Muffin to see the squirrel. And the green gold, I forget what they add to that to make it green. Anyway, there you have it. I bought that at the flea market. It's a very recent acquisition for $10. I think it's on a haul video that I haven't posted yet. And I sold it for $58. So these, if you ever see these with the little tricolor gold leaves on it, it seems to be very collectible, and people pay, you know, more than just what you would pay for a sterling silver and amethyst ring. So anyway, that's good morning. What is that? Oh, oh, Angie, I'm sorry. It looks like you and I are live at the same time. So I'll probably join you in just a minute because this won't take long. Getting ready to. Oh, hi. Oh, sorry. Hi, Marisa. Mine won't take long. I just had one little sale in the past day, and it is this little Jonette Jewelry. Actually, it's big. Jonette Jewelry rooster pin with the enamel on it. It's in really good condition. I sold that for $15. I had it listed for $18, but the buyer pointed out that there was one on eBay exactly like it, similar condition, that was $13. And she was nice enough to say, I want to buy from you. So I did lower the price to $15 for her. And anyway, that's it. Yeah, but I do have at least a couple of auctions on eBay going today that are gonna end today, so I should have something to report tomorrow. And so I will just go ahead and I see hearts. And cut off, and I'll go join Angie. And then hello, good morning. It's Karen Leabo, who is normally at normally at vintagedazzle.etsy.com, but oh my lord, yeah, I look like I had a hard night last night. But today I'm just talking about eBay sales, because I did not have any Etsy sales yesterday, but I did have a couple of eBay sales. Actually, I had one Etsy sale yesterday, but they immediately canceled it, or wanted to cancel it. And yeah, this week has been kind of weird. Hi, whole 60s. Is that right? Yeah. And hi, Marisa. How are you? So yeah, I had 2 sales canceled this week and a bid retraction, so I don't know what that's about. But I did have some good sales on eBay for a change. First thing I sold is this vintage motorcycle bag. It doesn't have a brand name or anything, but it does say it's made in the USA. And the guy who sold it to me said he took it off a 1971 motorcycle. So I figured it was probably from that era. And I paid $5 for that. Oh, I'm so glad that you got me this time. That is Louise. Hope I did that right. Anyway, so I paid $5 at the flea market, and this sold for $40. And the second thing is this Vietnam-era silver plate engraved cigarette case. How do you sell? I sell on eBay and Etsy normally. Oh, hi, Andy. And this was a real fun surprise. I got lost in a research rabbit hole researching this cigarette case and finding out about the Battle of Koh Tang in 1975. It happened after the fall of Saigon. It was one of the very last fighting in the war, and it was a very interesting story. And this, I think this must have been like a commemorative case that was presented to the guys who rescued these other guys whose ship was taken captive by the Khmer Rouge. Anyway, I started it out at $45. I paid $10. I started it out at $45, and it ended up. Oh, you know, Etsy is tricky. You have to keep at it. Etsy is one of those things that you have to. Your sales are going to be really low at first, and you just have to keep listing and listing and listing and listing until you get, you know, a big library of things to list. And then you have to do some promotion at first, especially by joining teams and getting on Facebook and getting your name out. It can be really tricky, but I've been on, you know, it's taken me a while to where I'm making steady sales on Etsy. I've been doing it since 2009, I think is when I started, so. Anyway, the final price on this was $144.50, so yay! I was happy. It kind of makes up for the rest of my crummy sales that have not been so good lately. So anyway, hasn't been paid for yet, but fingers crossed that it will be. And that's it. That is all I have to show you. So yeah, it is. It's like a job, and I actually I work full-time at it. I am in my office working most all day, every day, and I work, you know, weekends I'm out sourcing and garage sailing and flea marketing, and I do thrift sometimes. I don't find as much of the kind of things I like at thrift stores because I don't do a lot of new stuff or, you know, stuff in the package. Every once in a while if something just catches my eye, but I really like the vintage stuff, and I seem to find most of my stuff at the flea market. That just seems to be what works for me. Sometimes garage selling. Anyway, that is it. That's what I have to report. Oh, but wait, look who's here. Look who's here. It's my pretty girl. There she is. Look at her pretty green eyes. This is the Muffin girl. Yes. Muffin went to the vet the other day. I found out she had a microchip, so we got her registered. We got her shots. We got her checked. They say she does not have great teeth, so I may have to spend, you know, like a few $100s on some dental cleaning for her. And we're still working out what kind of food to feed her. Now, this is really interesting. My vet is saying now what I have thought all along, and that is the best food to buy your cat is Purina, Iams, Science Diet, the big companies, because they have the research budgets to do all the testing and all the nutritional analysis and all the stuff. And so he says, yeah, bypass all that stuff, expensive premium foods at the pet stores, and buy the Iams or the Purina One, or any of those foods are good. And Fancy Feast. And they're now also saying feed them a combination of canned and dry. So we're trying to work out. She loves Fancy Feast. That's like crack for her. There we go. Hi, good morning. It's Monday, and I am here to show you my weekend sales. Hi, everybody. Hi. How's that? Angie, I missed your Periscope this morning, but I'm going to go back and look at it shortly. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Hi, everybody. I so cannot read with these glasses on. That would be Marisa. Hi, Marisa. How are you? Okay. Oh, hi, Books for a Buck. How are you doing? Good to see you. Okay. So I had almost all jewelry sales over the weekend, which was fun because I don't know, I haven't been selling jewelry, and then all of a sudden it all sells. This is cool. So most of them are small. In fact, they're all fairly small, but you know, they add up after a while. And this is my first one. It's a sterling silver rope bracelet in a display box. Hi, Marisa. This I got on my trip to Iowa. I paid, I don't know, maybe $2 for it, and it sold for $18. Sold this necklace that's made out of seeds and beads and I don't know, some little carved, I think they're like tiny walnut shells that have been carved and made into beads. Really cool. I think this came from Africa, but I'm not 100% sure. And I got this for free from my mother-in-law, and that sold for $14. I sold a lot of mid-century brooches. There's 3 in here. There's one of them is, this one I think is marked, I know you can't really see them very well, but one is marked Brooks, the others are unmarked. The little rose, I don't know what I was going to say about that, but anyway, I sold a lot for $18. I sold this tiny little check brass brooch that's 1930s, maybe, it might be a little more modern than that, but it could be 1930s. It's got faux pearl and rhinestones in it. That sold for $12. This is a Mexican silver medallion. Thank you. It's a Sagittarius. It is made sterling silver on the back. It's really heavy. And it's got copper inlay of the Sagittarius, and then it's got chipped turquoise or mosaic turquoise in the background. It's really nicely done. I believe it dates from the 1930s. I had a price of $28 on it because I think it was worth every bit of that, but somebody offered me $20 and I took it. It's hard sometimes to say no. But anyway, I did not pay very much for this. I got this from my a friend in a jewelry lot, so I paid, you know, $1 for it maybe. So, cool. And then the last thing I have to show you is this Art Deco buckle. I just absolutely love this. It's, I guess it's kind of like guilloche enamel with, it's got clear enamel or something, or it's almost like glass on top of the embossed metal. Very cool. I just absolutely love this buckle. I got this in a $2 bin at the flea market, and I sold it for $28. Oh, you know, the sales, they come and go, they come and go. Before the weekend, things were really grim, and then I had a little flurry yesterday, so, well. And I guess that is it. I did have someone on my last Periscope ask to see my office. I missed the comment as it came by, because as you know, I'm blind. But I will show you my office really quickly, but don't be too frightened. It's really scary. First, there's Muffin. This is her favorite spot. She loves to look out this window at the birds. There's been a raven teasing her this morning. Great big thing. Keeps flying past the window, scaring her to death. Okay, so there's a window. That's all of my jewelry inventory right there. That is it. There's way up there, there's some hats, and I have scarves in that file, and I have behind the file I have a box with all my ephemera, and that's just miscellaneous stuff. There's some plates in that plate holder. I have all my linens are down there in those boxes, and these are kind of little small, well, you can't really see because of the light. But this whole little tall shelf is little tiny trinket boxes and things like that. Here is my desk, which is just a disaster. I got old coffee cups on it. I have a measuring tape along the front of my desk so that I can measure things as I'm listing. There's my nasty sweater. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? More inventory up there. There's like paper and stuff for the printer. There's a software printer things. That's some financial stuff. That's where I put like glass paperweights and a few other breakable things. That's just some filing stuff. More inventory, more little tiny small things. Here is where I do my packaging. So I got boxes, tissue paper. I got some labels and gold tape and some other tape hanging down. Up there is my business cards, thank you notes, postage scale. I also do some photography on that. There's my door. I keep some inventory in this shoe bag. I keep cufflinks and buckles. And then I keep some of my jewelry that I've made that are for sale on my other Etsy site in that. That's kind of an empty shelf. Isn't that nice? These needlepoint bricks right here, my dad used to make these. He made them by the hundreds. That's what he did in his old age. So I have a few of those. This is just miscellaneous stuff that really needs to be organized. That's a cool thing that I need to repair before I sell it. There's some art supplies down there. Here's where I have a ton of my like bigger inventory, bigger boxes, china. It goes on and on up there, way up there, baskets, and there's a little chest where I keep paper, craft paper and stuff like that. This is some jewelry making and jewelry supplies and jewelry repair. That's some more financial stuff, which probably I should be on the other shelf. And this is this is the really scary part. This is my where I keep all of my jewelry supplies, and oh my gosh, I just piled stuff on here that needs repair. This is just so frightening. One of these days. Under there, I have that's where I have some of my books that I wrote. And right there, that's where I do a lot of photography. Right by the window to get the natural light. That's just, some poster board and little photography studio set up there. There's some of my props that I use in the photography. There's the door that goes out to the balcony. And now we're around, in the middle of the room, this is so sad, there is some inventory in there that's kind of waiting to be listed. Some of it is like stuff that I don't want to list yet because I already have too much of the same thing. And that's things that are going to be listed soon. And then all my boxes, piece of wallpaper that I use for photography, newspaper, in the middle of the room because I have nowhere else to put it. Okay, that's it. This has gone on way too long. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.